started like right on time today. Come in the room, let me know where you're watching from. And as you can see, today is an intro, well, day trading terms overview. My name is Dr. Chiefess Sunflower. Let me get a sound check. If you're watching live, tap the hearts, let me know that we got a heartbeat in the room today. Our goal is always 1K on TikTok. Sometimes we hit it, sometimes we don't. That just helps us reach more people with like minds who want to grow on an everyday basis. Y'all know when you come to this live, we are literally growing in one area or the other. So come on in the room, share the broadcast. We're just gonna keep it really basic for our beginner traders out there. Today's app that we will be focusing on is Webull. Alright? So grab your notebook, maybe. You don't really have to, but you can take notes, maybe. I don't know what your morning drink is, if you sipping tea or if you sipping some coffee, but get you a nice hot drink. I know it's kind of chilly here. I'm drinking on a decaf with honey. I don't know why I did that, but it tastes pretty good. I'm trying to cut back on the sugar and the coffee. But today, I really need it. It's a busy day in the dental practice, so, we got to keep it moving. So come on in the room, tap the hearts. Our goal today is to learn the language of paper trading before we actually live trade on Friday during our session. On Friday, I will be live for maybe like 2 hours, from 8 to possibly 10 to do the demo. So we're just gonna grow a little bit at a time. Now I did start my Webull demonstration a little bit earlier, like in a live from a week ago, and we got to opening up an account. So if you're not to that point, go watch the live on YouTube, or you can join our Hood to Hooded school community and figure out how to start the Webull, because we will not be starting here today. Alright, so hopefully you already have the app. If you don't have the app, go download the app right now. It can't hurt. Why? Because you can paper trade with $1 million and practice on the stock market. A lot of people, a lot of youth in the hood don't even know that this is an option. Imagine if they had a Webull trading class in high school. Imagine if there was like a day trading club for high schoolers or college students or even just working adults. This is a skill that we all need. They say money don't grow on trees, but sometimes it grows in the stock market. And we don't want to be left behind. Whether the stock market is falling or rising, there's ways to learn this so you can make money, from just having this extra skill in your back pocket. Alright? So we just gonna take it basic, because I went through a lot of YouTube videos. I've been into day trading for a while. I'm no expert. Please, this is just beginners. We just getting comfortable with even just the thought of going on the stock market. Because where I come from, hood to hooded, we got to start with the hood mindset, where people just like, what the hell? Because when you open up these trading platforms, it's a lot. It could be like, never mind, it's too much. So we're going to baby step it here on this podcast. When I say baby step it, if you're a professional trader, this might not be for you. But if you just want to dig in and help us grow as we take our trading journey to the next level, then join right in. We're starting from the beginning. So if you always wanted another stream of income, or you wanted to get another skill that can help your family and lead to possible long-term wealth, welcome to the hood. Alright? If this is your first time catching me live, I'm Dr. Chiefess Sunflower. So ICO to my Niji out there. ICO to the family, to the tribe, to the high-level thinkers, not to the people who thinking in pseudo-history mindset, I'll say. ICO and hello to all the wonderful, kind people around the world, to all my melanated, beautiful beings. I just love y'all. I just love all kind people. And if you about growing and elevating, then you in the right place. So again, we practicing Well, we're not practicing paper trading today, but on Friday, we will be doing paper trading demo. But I feel like before we get to that point, if you are a beginner, there's some questions that we got to answer before we get to this point, so that we can all be on the same page. So welcome back to the dreamers, to the investors, to the people who are ready for Transformational Tuesday. And today we're laying the foundation before we jump into paper trading on Webull this Friday. You might be asking, what the hell is paper trading? We gonna figure it out. But it's something that you can do. It's kind of like playing a video game with money. You ever wanted to know how it feels to have $1 million on the stock market? This is how. All right. You ever feel like day traders are speaking a whole different language? Have you ever felt that? Words like limit order, stop order, bid, ask spread, market depth. All of these different terms, like, it goes really, really deep. So that's why starting at the beginning is important. We're going to break it down hood to hood style, Dr. Sean style, so we can all move with confidence instead of confusion. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you tap in the hearts, grab your daily heart me, help me fill my gift gallery. Not required, but you know, I like to do that when I go to other people's pages, so maybe one day we'll get there. But if you're watching this live, drop a brain in the chat. Thank you, Rooted and Rising. I am just got the #1 gift bag. Thank you. If you watching this live, drop a brain in the chat if you ready to learn and get to trading. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, what is day trading? Let's pull up my little... Yes, thank you, #1 gift badger. I'm still trying to practice these buttons over here on TikTok, so bear with me. Oh, that's not the terms we're going for first. Alright. If you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, any other streaming platforms that we're on right now, let's get into the presentation. Starting with vocabulary. Equity, ticker, price action, and volume. These are basic terms to know when you are trading. Just some basic terms that we all, just like starter terms. A lot of the videos that I went to, they didn't really give me the basics. They went so fast to the point where only because I know a little bit about trading and I've done it before that I was able to keep up. But if you're a beginner, you'll be like, what the hell are they talking about? They just move way too fast. They're like so deep in that their simple is not simple. That's what we're trying to eliminate today. So if you're watching, you can use all of the commands on Twitch, all of the gadgets on Twitch, and on TikTok. All right. So let me know where y'all watching from. So, back to the topic at hand. Let me see. Where do I want to start? So what is day trading and how Webull can help beginners? That is the main question that we have right now. Day trading is when you buy stock and you sell it within the same day to profit from small price movements. Now, an expert in this field, if you pass this level, then go check out someone like Terry Ijiyama. She is a professional and she's going to get you to the next level. Even if you want to get interested in this, I recommend watching several traders to see the different styles so that you can come up with your own style and have a lot of knowledge before you start. But also with paper trading, you don't have to wait to start. You can start trading on the stock market today with practice money. Okay, so Webull is perfect for beginners because it offers paper trading. That's practice trading with fake money so you can learn without losing a dime. How does that sound? I think that's amazing. I love paper trading. Think of it like diving in a simulator before you hit the highway. You know, when you was a little kid, you want to practice driving. Think of it like that. It's like practicing before you actually risk your real money. You still learn the steering, the gears, the brakes, just with no risk of crashing. That's what paper trading is. And that's why here on the Hood to Hood podcast, we about exploring all areas that will help us level up. Any area that can give us a new skill, give us a new way to get a different branch of financial literacy, investing, or something that is going to give us another source of income. This is why we are exploring this on this podcast. And we will continue to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So the key terms that you can see on the screen is equity, ticker, price action, and volume. All right? And these are terms that all beginning traders need to know. Paper trading. You got to know this term. Paper trading, we already said, is practicing trades with virtual funds that you don't have to be responsible for. And the good thing that I like about Webull is that you can restart your paper trade account anytime you want. You can practice with $500 or you can practice with $1 million. You can practice with $50. I'm talking about play money in the real stock market. You can do whatever you want. So I think that is a great asset about this platform. Another thing that we want to go over is equity. A lot of us know about equity with home ownership or in other assets, but when you get equity with stocks, you actually own a piece of that company. So if you always on Facebook and you strolling, you actually paying Facebook or Meta shareholders. You can actually become a shareholder for Meta or Apple or Google or Amazon or Tesla or any of these big companies, Coca-Cola. There's so many in different spaces in different industries. It just depends on what you're going to use for your research and what companies you really like. If you really like a company, why not invest in it? Like if you always on Meta, why not invest in Meta? That's probably what we're going to do on Friday. Since this is a social media based podcast, we might do a paper trade with Meta. Let me know how y'all like that. Paper trading with Meta. Okay? So that is equity. Ownership in a company through shares of stock. Right? Next, we're going to go over ticker. Boom. You see these on the news, all of the company ticker symbols. This is a short code that represents a stock, such as AAPL means Apple on the stock market, right? So you got to know ticker symbols. If you are interested in the company, learning their ticker symbols will help you out. Using CNN Finance or really Webull, any of the trading apps, you're going to see ticker symbols. And this is just trading basics. All right. Price action. This is movement of a stock price. So when the stock market is active, you're going to see the charts go up and down, up and down. And you can see price action for a minute, couple minutes, a day, a week, a month, 5 years, 10 years, over time. And what we generally know is that stocks, if they don't go completely down, they grow over time. But they all started low and then they grew outrageously. It's like Bitcoin is outrageous right now. All right. So price action, how a stock price moves throughout the day. All right. Now volume is just like it sounds, is the total shares traded of that stock. So this is all pretty much boring terms, but for a beginner, you must know these terms if you want to get into day trading. Let's continue. I'm going to take me a little sip of my coffee. Next is the most important terms that we'll need for Friday when we do our trading. All right. Whoa. So these are core trade types and order terms in the Webull interface. You see market, limit, stop, and stop limit. Let's go down the list. I'll go through trade types so you'll see when we're in Webull, you open the app, tap trade, and you'll see these types. I'm going to pull them up actually in the app at the end of this presentation so you can see how it actually looks. We're just going over the terms right now. So Like I said, open the app, tap trade. You'll see order types like market, limit, stop, and stop limit. Let's break these down. Market order. This is the first one, top left, or on the left if you're watching on Twitch. So, market order, instant execution at the current price. The definition of a market order is buys or sells instantly at the current market price. So if you place a market order in the stock market, it's just going to go at whatever the price is. You don't have any control over, if it goes high, low, or anything. The pro about this is the fastest way to get in or out of the stock market if you do a market order. You can sell market order or you can buy market order of the stock. The con is that the price may change slightly before it fills, and you don't have any control over that. Market orders are saying, like, I want it now. I really don't care what the price is. It's like if you really just had to have a piece of Tesla, you're like, I don't care what it is. I know it's going up. I'm just going to pay for it and not do all the other little details you can add to your trading experience. All right, so the next one is limit order. The definition of the limit order is you set the exact price you're willing to buy or sell at. So you control the price for your trades when you limit the order. Say you want to buy Apple at $190. You set the limit buy order at $190, and it'll only execute if that price dips to that price or below. This gives you more control. Even though it may not ever come to $190, then you will not reach your target. So that's a limit order. You kind of control the price. All right? This will all make sense when we get into the app. Stop order. So stop order or stop loss or stop buy, this is an order that protects you against unfavorable movements. It's an order that triggers a market order once a stock hits a specific price. All right? So if you own Tesla at $200 and you want to protect yourself from losses, you can set a stop loss at $190. If the price drops to $190, your shares sell automatically. So this is how you can stop the bleeding, basically. Limit is you limit the price you're willing to pay or sell, and stop is you limit the price you're willing to lose, or buy. Stop limit order is a combo of a stop order and a limit order. So it's both of them in one. So once your stop price is hit, it places a limit order instead of a market order. And then it gives you more control, but it's still not a guarantee for you to fill the order. Let's go to the next one, which is a little bit more advanced, which is trailing stop. So this protects profit with flexibility. So it'll trail if it goes up and you can kind of move it up and down. So trailing stop. Let's see. So the definition of a trailing stop is adjust automatically as stock price moves in your favor. So you can set a trailing stop 5% below the current price, and it follows the stop up but locks in if profit falls. So if the stock, say, goes from 190, you get in at 190 and it goes up to like 230, I'm just making up a number, you can move your trailing stop up so it'll go up, so maybe it'll stop at like 115, so you make money. I know this is all like probably a bit Chinese right now, but it'll all make sense when we get into the app. All right, so this sets targets for gains. You want to make sure you compare your risk and your rewards, which is why paper trading is kind of cool, because you can kind of do that and not really have any risk, but you're practicing, so you're taking your emotions out of it. Other terms that we could just go over to understand market structure and trade metrics. Let's decode the rest of the Webull screen, because every number means something important. So let's just go over them. Bid price. This is what buyers are willing to pay. Ask price. This is what sellers want to receive. Bid ask price. The gap between the two. Smaller equals more liquidity. Let me see if I have this on. Yes, let's pull up the other. There we go. So bid price. Price buyers are willing to pay. All right. Ask price. What sellers want to receive. The bid ask spread is the gap between the two. The bid and the ask price. If it's smaller, this equals more liquidity. The volume, which we talked about earlier, is the number of shares traded that day. Tell you how active a stock is. If it has high volume, the volatility. This is how fast and unpredictable prices move. Liquidity, how easy you can buy and sell without affecting the price. P&L, this is very important. How much you gain or loss on your trade. So you'll see it P&L when you do day trading. You either profit or you lose. Execution time is when your trade actually goes through. All right. So beginners often lose not because of the market, but because they didn't understand these terms. And knowledge keeps you and your money safe. So before we go into the app on Friday, you won't be like, oh, I've never seen this term before, Dr. Sean. Now you've seen it before. All right. And this is going to help us lower the risk. So that we not, let's see. It's going to help us lower the risk. So the thing you want to do when you're day trading is stay disciplined in your trading choices. So you don't want to be chasing it because it can get really exciting, guys. I mean, like, day trading to me is like freaking exciting. I really wish I could day trade like every day in some kind of way, do the dentistry and the streaming, but it's just so much going on like in my head. So we're gonna baby step it and do it together. All right. So chasing, stop loss. We already talked about stop loss. This is very important to master the stop loss when you are day trading. This is gonna limit your potential losses effectively versus just jumping into the market and not knowing what to do. The emotions, you want to maintain control of your trade feelings. It can get very emotional because you're dealing with money, you're making money, losing money. It's like a roller coaster ride. And then your capital. You don't want to play with your capital. You don't want to play with your true like retirement, but just use money that you're willing to lose, I guess. But not going in with the mind frame to lose, but knowing that you have to pay the market, so you will lose sometimes. All right. So, this isn't the end. Friday, like I said, join us for live trading 8 to 10. Make sure you're following the Hoods and Hooded Dreamers Network. The link is in the bio. Now, I did pull up my slides that we're going to go into next on freaking TikTok. But I didn't do it on Twitch. So just give me a second, guys. I hope y'all having a good Tuesday. Today is Transformational Tuesday. We just talking about Webull, some day trading terms. And now we're gonna get into it. I'm just trying to figure out. See, the thing is, okay, maybe I could do it like this. We're gonna see. So before you place any trade, remember this: day trading is not gambling. It's math, it's mindset, and it is management. Rule number 1, you don't want to risk more than 1 to 2% of your total capital in one trade. Like if you start paper trading, you don't want to go out risking the whole $1 million in your first trade. You want to only do a little bit at a time in practice. Number 2, always use the stop loss. Always use the stop loss. It's there for a reason. Why not use it? Rule number 3, don't chase, let the trades come to you. They will make sense. Your first job as a trader isn't to make money, it is to protect your money. All right? We'll practice this all live on Friday when we actually paper trade together. Now, your homework before we go into these screenshots that I want to show you in preparation for Friday, download Webull if you haven't. Tap the paper trading and explore the interface. Write down 5 trade terms you don't understand, and then we will review them on Friday. All right? So let's pull up our other screenshots. Image slideshow. It's going to be kind of hard to... Where are my pictures, guys? So my pictures aren't coming up, so I'm gonna have to do this another way. But in the meantime, I'm just excited to, you know, be exploring this on this platform. Uh-oh. What the heck did I do? And growing. Thank you for tapping the hearts. How y'all feeling today on TikTok? How you feeling? How you feeling? You can't open this file in the editor. Oh, crap. Alright. Upload files. So what I'm trying to do right now is pull up my images so that we can go over them. But my computer is tripping. But we're gonna figure it out. Okay, that's not working. Let me try again. We're gonna figure it out because it's very important for me to finish this properly. So let's put that there. So that way you guys can see how it looks inside of the Webull app before we get to it on Friday. I just believe that seeing it kind of helps you out. It just makes it easier before you actually paper trade to see it. And then you'll be like, oh, I remember Dr. Sean showed me this, so it's not so intimidating. Alright, I figured it out, guys. So, for TikTok, let's pull it up. Boom. This is gonna be harder than I thought to actually get this to. Let's see, Canva presentation. Did I do it? Oh no. Hold on. Are we on the same page? Alright, so when you get into the Webull app, you're gonna find the menu button. Alright? Or the more. You're gonna hit the more button. You see here? Boom. The more button. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm just trying to get it right for you. The more button, all my stuff is all... Oh, never mind. I see it. Just kidding. Just kidding. Alright, so here. When you're inside, there's the more button. And then once you hit the more button, you'll come to this page. I can't really see it, it's not so clear. The screenshots really didn't work, guys. I mean, they work for TikTok when not on. And then once you hit more, you're gonna come to this page, and then you'll see paper trade right down here. Let's move out of the way. Under trading, you'll see paper trade right there. All right. And if you're watching this on Twitch, it's a little clunky. But I'm trying to figure it out. I thought it was a good idea to do it this way, but obviously it wasn't. And you know, I learn every day that I go live. So if you're watching this on Twitch, this is the screen you'll get on your phone, and then you hit the paper trading button under trading. All right, and after you get past that one, you'll get to this page. Well, that's still paper trading. And eventually, let's make sure I didn't skip something. So we went to paper trade. Boom. All right. I strolled down. And then when you get to paper trade, this will be your account when you first get in. You'll have $1 million to paper trade, and everything will be at zero because you're just now starting. So let's pull up this in so you see you got $1 million to paper trade with. Yes, you can edit this and say, hey, I don't want to invest $1 million when I first start. What do I do? So if that's the case, you can edit it. You can edit the amount. Let's see if I pull up the right one, because you can edit. All right, you can reset it, you can edit it, you can start with $5, $500. You can pretty much do what you want. All right, so that's how it will look when you want to reset it and edit it when we start paper trading on Friday. Let's go to the next screen. So this is going to show you your positions. We don't have any orders in there right now, but once we place an order, you're going to see your orders, what position you are in, right in here. And I hope this is kind of making sense. My presentation is a little clunky because I didn't really think that. I really didn't think it through, guys. As I go live and I have this big ideas in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to show and teach this. But when you actually live teaching, is a little bit different than like editing teaching. So sometimes things don't go according to plan. All right. So let's see. Is that everything I had to show you? I know I had more to show you, but I feel like I screwed this one up. At least we got the terms out of the way. Let's see what other slides I had in here. So this is like earlier we went over ticker symbols. This is how the ticker symbols kind of look. I'm trying to pull it up for y'all on Twitch, but it is not going good at all. Okay, all right, that works. So you can kind of see what I got going on here. It's a hot mess, but you know, this is how it looks when you get into the app, basically. I guess that's the whole point. The ticker symbols. Let's keep moving. You can make your watch list. When you go into the app and you find a company, you just click the little heart in the top right corner, like on this image to the right, and then you can add these companies to your watch list. So right now I have Meta, Tesla, Webull, AMD on my demo page watch list. And what else can we show you? I'm gonna end this soon because I didn't really think this through. So when you get in here and say you want to invest, this is how the chart looks. And this is why I say trading can look very intimidating. It can look a little intimidating. This is how your chart will look. Alright? And this is a Meta stock. At the time that I took this screenshot, Meta was going for $637.71 per stock. But it goes up and down. You can't really see it on TikTok right now, but in the top right corner, if you watch it on Twitch, you'll see the little heart. That's how you add the company to your watch list, so you can kind of monitor what's happening with the company before you paper trade or real trade. Alright? And when you go into the company, you'll see the chart here. You'll see the options, bonds, news, feed. The news gives you information about the company. The feed is kind of like a social media feed where people are talking about the stock. And then it goes further. Let's see, it goes a little bit further. Alright, so now we're getting to what we talked about earlier. We're past all of this intro stuff. Okay? So the next, since we know how the stock charts look, boom. Okay? Add Meta to watch list, boom. Boom. Alright, and then you're going to get here to this screen where you can actually buy and trade. And it says pre-market at the top because the stock market opened at 9:30. But you can buy and trade stock. I'm moving over so you can kind of see it a little bit. What time we got here? Alright, I'm doing good. Just check, just look at how confusing this shit looks, first of all. Let's just start there. That's why day trading, it will intimidate a lot of people who come from the hood or from poverty, because it's just a lot of numbers. It look very tricky. It look very confusing. And if you don't learn this, the paper trade way, you can get in and make a lot of mistakes. So paper trading, I feel like, is such a great opportunity that a lot of us are missing out, strolling. We could be on this thing practicing how to make money in our, not really when you sleep, but kind of sort of, yeah. Alright? And trading goes deep. So here on the Hood to Hood podcast, the beginning level is super duper important. Because I know when I'm watching trading people, they kind of go a little too far, very fast. And I have to slow it down, rewind, keep going, try to get it, because it's a lot of terms. All of this stuff means something. But we're not starting with all of this stuff. We're starting with what we learned today, the order type. Alright, let me try to see if I can move myself off of the screen. Order type. Boom. Alright, order type. So let's go to our next slide. So when you get to order type, these are the order types, and you want to select your order type. And that's what we went over earlier. The market order, limit order, stop order, stop order, stop loss, trailing stop. These are the terms we just talked about earlier, but actually you can see them inside of the app now. So it actually makes a little bit more sense, so you're not as lost. So remember, you always want to do a limit. Always. All right. So we'll go back to this screen. Remember, stop loss. You always want to have that. In the order types, these are the order types right here. And that's what we talked about today inside of Webull. It's a little bit tricky navigating two lives, but we making it happen. What's good, family? What's good, Captain Beatdown? Alright, if you got any questions, drop it in the chat. Thank you for the emojis. Kick fam, chillin'. Alright. So don't be afraid of investing or stocks or day trading. I think it's super duper fun. Like, don't be afraid of these terms, but know these terms. And know that there's so many people who teach these terms on YouTube. Alright? Vibing, eating breakfast before it's time to go to work. I know, I gotta get to work in like 19 minutes to be exact. I have to get off of here. That's why I come on at 8, because I have to accomplish my goal of going live every day. And learning and growing and teaching my community. Alright? So another thing is trading hours. And this is the last thing we'll go over before my time run out. Uh-oh. Hold on. Hold on. Trading hours. Let me drop you a follow on TikTok. I appreciate it. So trading hours. You'll see that trading hours means trading between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'm moving crazy because I'm trying to get out of the way on TikTok. Alright, the extending trading hours are either before or after the regular trading hours, and it includes pre-market, which is 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. and after hours 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. So you can trade pre-market, aftermarket, or regular trading hours. So Friday we will be trading during the regular market at 9:30. We're gonna do an hour and a half of just chit-chatting before it open to make sure everybody got their Webull downloaded, to make sure you know what the terms are. Sounds about right. I work for a stock brokerage firm myself. That is so cool. I know you can contribute a lot to this conversation. You way past the beginner level. But for me, I try to teach people who don't know what the hell stocks are. I know I came from poverty, from the hood. It was never talked about. You see these tickers on the TV. You think that has nothing to do with me. It's like a whole nother language. So just to be able to enter this space, teach people who don't know, and to interact with people who are professionals, it just really excites me. I never thought that I would be the dentist streaming person who loves trading, and I'm just so, I don't know. I'm Dr. Sean. I love it. Alright? So drop your questions in the chat, guys. I'm done teaching. I feel like we did enough. You guys got to see how Webull looks from the inside without actually going in. Paper trading is so clutch. Go do it now. You can even start trading today. Paper trading today when the stock market open, if you had an account, so you won't be so like scared of it. I know it definitely helped me kind of lose my fear about money. Sometimes when you come from poverty, remember, we can tend to have that scarcity mindset where we hold on to things, like we don't want to let things go. We buy more stuff than we invest. We buy more things like clothes and shoes and, you know, material things before we kind of invest the money because we want to see it now. With trading and day trading, it is a lot. It's a little risky. That's why practice makes perfect. Alright? So even if before Friday come you say, you know what, I don't want to wait for you, Dr. Sean, I'm going to go and start paper trading now. You go ahead with your bad self. People need to remember that spending money to make money is investing to get back. And that's a simple concept that people don't even realize. You have to spend money to make money. And it just is that way. In the stock market, you have to spend the money to make the money. Some of the most exciting times in my life is when the stock market is jumping, and it's just so exciting. For me, I had to kind of slow down with the trading, because dentistry and the hours that trading was happening, it kind of just was too much for me. But now I have to make a way to do it again. I don't know if I have to switch my dental schedule, but it's a must. It's a must that we don't miss out. Invest into assets and not liabilities. Absolutely. Liabilities is cars if it's not on Turo, or shoes, clothes, just junk. I know someone who is a hoarder, and they just have so much stuff, and I'm thinking like, damn, if you had to turn this stuff, the money that you spent for all this stuff you're not going to be using with houses full of things, you could have millions in the stock market. The money just sitting here working for it. Anyways, because time is money. We learned yesterday that people spend 2.5 hours a day strolling the internet, right? That's 38 days per year that you're just wasting. Time is money. People spend so much money on junk food, eating out, buying this, nails, hair, shoes, clothes. The list goes on. Vacations. But they never think about investing the money to make it grow. It comes the same way with dentistry. People never think about investing in their smile until it's super expensive. So the goal here on the Hood to Hooded podcast is to not only break generational curses, but it is to get assets, learn about investing, networking, and not being afraid of abundance. Open your mind to not being afraid to have abundance and wealth, and not thinking that you're going to work a 9 to 5 for 40 years to get there. There are quicker ways to do it. We just don't know. We are unaware where I come from. Right? You're already losing money when you're investing into liabilities. Exactly. You already losing money every day. And guess what? If people realize, damn, I haven't invested and it's this far into my life, I don't have nothing. Imagine if you hadn't invested. Just imagine what it would be right now. How much you would have right now. If you could just budget, cut back, and even start with $100, $200, $50, $10. There's no excuse for what you can start with. Just start. Nah, see, in today's society, these 9 to 5 jobs is play the hell out. I ain't even gonna hold you. Because guess what? They're not gonna help you meet your basic living needs. They said that middle class is like $1 million or something now. This is insanity, people. It's insanity. That's why it's a must that I come on here every day to grow in at least one area, because I don't want to be one of those people who wake up one day and realize, damn, I did a lot of nothing with my time. I wasted a lot of money doing nothing with my time. The other day I had the opportunity to invest a lot of money into being in a place. And I had to ask myself, do I really want to invest this type of money to be in a place I don't like just because it sounds good? No! I had to really pause my emotions and say, no, this is not a good investment. Sometimes you have to do this with trading, with your life, and say, you know what? I'm going to wait for a second. Let me put my money into something that actually makes sense. That's why we use them as stepping stones. Exactly. The 9 to 5 jobs. I would love to learn how to do this. Well, make sure you watching this broadcast. We do this for beginners, and we're going to grow with trading together. So if you want to learn how to do this, just make sure you following. I have a Hood to Hood Dreamers Network community in the bio, and I will be uploading all of my Webull and day trading videos into one platform, so you don't have to go scavenging around. But if you don't want to wait for that, go follow Terry Igioma. She's a little bit more advanced, and we starting at the beginning. So, people don't like change and pivoting. Some people feel that it's easier to stay at a job that we already have established. That way we don't have to invest time into submitting job applications. Some way, we all invest time or money into something. Period. I'm gonna tell y'all, you're welcome, Ashley. Thank you for joining me this morning. I'm gonna tell y'all the God honest truth. You just said a mouthful, Captain Beatdown. People don't like change. They feel it's easier to stay at a job because they already invested. They don't want to change. I was that same way before I became a dentist. I had went to undergrad, graduated. I did the whole science classes and set myself up to be a dentist. But guess what? There was a test called the dental admissions test, and I did not want to take it. So I said, okay, I'm gonna be like my friends. I went and got a job with the state of Florida. Everybody made it seem like, hey, this was the thing to do. I was like, let me go get this job. My job was paying me $34,000 to $36,000 a year. And when I got that job, I felt like I was in prison. And I stayed for a while, but I just knew in my spirit, damn, you got to go take this test. I kept getting signs, and then one day I said, you know what? I have to go sit down and take the test so I can become a doctor. Without this test, I can't even apply. So, yes, it may be easier for you to stay at your 9 to 5 job because you might not have to elevate. You may not have to learn anything new. You might not have to invest in nothing. You can just sit here for 40 years, retire, hopefully, if they don't snatch a pension at the end, and be done with it. But for me, I've never been a settler. No pun intended. I've never been a settler, or I never wanted to settle in no area of life. Before my mom passed, when I was 8 years old, her saying, hey, you're going to be a doctor. I must have been maybe 5 or 6 when she said it, but just that affirmation spoke life into me when she was gone. I knew that some kind of way, somehow, I don't care what obstacles I have to go through, I'm going to be somebody. All right? And I knew that once I got to that state job and I wasn't fully living my dream, it was haunting me every fucking day. Every day I felt like I was literally walking into prison and I couldn't wait to clock out. And not only that, it wasn't enough to take care of my family. I had to go get a second job afterward, working at Ross, hanging up clothes. I was so miserable. And it was during that time that I studied, took the test, applied again. The dental application to be in doctoral program is like so many steps that is much different than a job application. And you're right, some people won't even put a job application in for a better opportunity because they're too fucking comfortable. They don't want to step outside of the box. They're afraid to try stock market. They're afraid to try everything, really. And that is my whole purpose here, is to tell you not to be afraid. What is there to lose? Especially with day trading. If there's an option for you to paper trade with $1 million, if you ever want to know how it feels to have $1 million to invest with, download the app. Try paper trading. Change your mindset to have abundance versus, anything less than that. The scarcity mindset. They would rather milk the system and rely on our ignorance to get the most out of us, especially if they will that we're in position to where we feel like we need them. I kind of got it, kind of didn't. Jobs will never pay you for what you're worth. Absolutely not. They will never pay you for what you're worth. So that's why every day you got to pay yourself what you're worth. Meaning, pay attention to yourself. Give yourself some self-love, time, understanding, and growing the mind. That's the biggest thing that you can do, is invest in your mind, guys. If you don't know how to do something, just try it. I'm not a live expert, but I come on here live and I've been doing it since May, inconsistently, and I'm trying to do it 365 days, and now I'm on day 40 something. I just stopped counting because why am I counting? I know I want to do it. You know you want to do it. Stop holding yourself back. I kind of got to go. I got to get ready for my patient. My time is running out. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Invest in yourself. Absolutely. Let's see what we got going here on TikTok. Thank you, Ashley, for joining. Thank you, Ibuski, for being the number 2 gift badge. I always get financial advice from... What? That was like What are you talking about? Doo-doo-doo. What else? Alright, it seems like I didn't miss any other comments. Rapier Publishing, thank you. Alright. One thing I always tell myself is never let price tags dictate how you spend your money. Oh, I like that. If you do, you'll find yourself settling for less. And we're going to end on that note, guys. Never let the price tag dictate your money. Ever. Like I said, I could have made a big mistake here recently and, looked at, oh, I can have this. It's going to be $1 million. And then I thought about how much work I would have to do, how much dentistry I would have to do if I invested into this. Now, what if I invested this in the stock market? This way I'm not working and slaving every day for money. All right. So this has been the Hood to Hooded podcast, guys. We've had some fun today, and I'll be back tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow we're going to be talking about teeth, oral hygiene, something along the lines of that. So make sure you are following. Make sure you tune in. I'm your host, Dr. Cheapest Sunflower. Come up with a plan on how to make it happen and execute. Exactly. It's all about action. It's not about talking. That's why we take action. You can't talk about it. You got to be about it. Only 3% of adults have clear written goals. Only 3%. So you can see why there's only 1% of millionaires and billionaires, probably less than that, because only 3% have clear written goals. So 9 times out of 10, if you don't have clear written goals, then you're just somebody who's wishing. You're not somebody who was taking action. You're just a wisher. You wishing for something to save you instead of saving yourself. But no one's coming to save us. All right. Y'all have a good day. Bye, guys.